Ready to start?
Are you ready to start?
Yeah.
Are you ready to start or what?
Yes.
Hello?
Hmm.
Alright, you have to start it this time.
Why?
That's pretty good, right? Da, 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 da.
Stop.
That's pretty good, dude. Let's be honest. Are
All right. Ready to go?
you ready to start or no? I'm
Yes.
not sure. I'm not really sure what you're doing with yourself right now, but whatever you're
What?
doing, you need to stop it. Are you ready to go? You have to start it, Christian, not me.
This is the New Leaf Podcast.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 35 of the New Leaf Podcast. I'm Christian, and we're joined by, of course, Taylor.
Yes.
So it's been 2 weeks since the last show, and Halo 5 is a game on the Xbox One platform that did come out over
Oh my
the last 2
gosh.
weeks. So we're probably going to talk about that mostly today, unless Taylor has something he wants to add, anything going on,
There will be.
in normal life. But for me, work has been pretty crazy. I've been really worn out. So I haven't really done much, except for play Halo 5 in the little time that I had. Other than that, I was making food, because I'm starting to do this thing now where I want to bring my food with me to work so I don't go out and get breakfast somewhere.
Smart.
So I'm trying to take one day and just make a bunch of food for the whole week, so I don't have to worry about making something every day. I just
That's Sunday, baby.
I just grab some food out of the refrigerator every day. It's already ready to go and just head out.
I'm so proud of you. You're being so smart.
Yeah, I'm eating lots of chicken because I heard that's what you got to eat to get big. You know what I'm saying?
Who told you that?
I don't know, just some people.
They were
This
right.
chicken's got proteins.
You say this chicken has protein? Every chicken has protein.
I said chicken has protein. I didn't say this
chicken I bought has protein in it,
I
so...
bought this special kind of chicken that has protein in it. I don't know if they have that where you're from.
Nope, don't know what that is, dude.
But yeah, so I'm doing that. Other than that, I finished a book that I've been reading for 6 months. So that was cool, and started a new book. So yeah.
Was
it's,
it One
really
Fish,
fun.
Two Fish?
Yeah. Finally made it all the way through.
So how many fish
I've been
are there?
going through Hooked on Phonics. Just trying to,
man.
learn a new skill. So, it's just what's going on with my life. So how about you?
Well, really at work, nothing too crazy has been going on. It's been relatively steady. There's some things going on in the office around other people's lives that are kind of causing hiccups and drama within the shop. But I'm trying to not be in the middle of that because they say save the drama for your mama. So, but besides that, haven't really been doing anything important, I guess. I mean, I do the same thing every day. I wake up, I work out, and then I talk to Allison, and then I work, and that's my life. So, but in the video game world, I did do some Halo 5 and another game that came out this week that I won't talk about because you might get mad at me. So, but yeah. So
Yeah, it sounds exciting.
Shut up, dude. I'm saving the exciting stuff for Halo 5, okay?
Well, why don't you talk about some other game that you sort
Okay.
of bought?
Alright, so I wasn't gonna do this, but sorry, I had to burp. Sorry, I muted my mic. So I went out, and I was thinking to myself, I have Halo 5 for like my close friends, and then, it's not fun to play Halo 5 by yourself. I mean, it is fun, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But it's not as fun as in playing like with you or, like,
Yeah, it's frustrating because usually you get stuck with people who don't know what they're doing, so you always
right,
lose.
exactly. So I went out and I said, this game is going to be my game to play when no one else is on. Which, and this game is, if you haven't figured out, it's Call of Duty. So Call of Duty's always kind of been that game to go to when you have no one else to play with, because you can hook right up into a game real quick and just play to pass the time kind of deal. So Black Ops 3 is the new installation of the Black Ops series, and I haven't beat the story mode or anything, but the whole story is co-op, which is really cool because it's a cinematic campaign, but at the same time it's 4 players, so it's really awesome in my opinion because like Drew was playing last night and I just joined right into his game, just hopped right in. He had no idea I was in until I said something. So, but the zombies is just like the old one. If you remember from World War days and the Black Ops early days where the maps were kind of closed off, real tight,
Oh, really?
nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's not like that the newer ones how they're kind of in like open and obnoxiously, free to roam around because
Well, I never liked
it's
any of the zombies except for the very, very first one on World at War.
yeah, well, so it's like if you remember like all the DLC maps that came out for that,
Yeah, the ones where you
like
had to like run around, turn on power, and do all
right,
kinds of crazy
it's
stuff.
literally just like that. Except for there's like the ulterior like story motive behind the zombies, that you can do like the Easter egg stuff or whatever. So that was really cool to see that old style zombies because that's the zombies that I enjoy. I love those old maps where, you could sit in a corner and then just sit there and kill zombies if you wanted to, and the Advanced Warfare seemed like it was kind of not like that at all. I'm not sure if you didn't really play the zombies, did you?
No, not really. I didn't like zombies that much, anyways.
Well, anyways, it's like the old zombies. So if you were, I know some people that just buy Call of Duty games for the zombies aspect of it.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a good one to buy if that's what you were looking for. So, and the worst thing about it is how freaking difficult it is.
The zombies?
So, yeah, because I think me and my one buddy, only 2 of us could only make it to level 8, and then I had 4 players, and we only made it to like 14. So, it's really, really difficult. So, but to not say any spoilers or anything, I won't say how to do any of this stuff or the Easter eggs, because we got pretty far with that. And the multiplayer aspect of the game seems pretty flawless on the gameplay side of it, but on the server side, it's it's embarrassing, Christian. Treyarch is a game company where Black Ops 2 was obviously very successful, as you can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And they know how to hold their servers up. But man, Black Ops 3 servers are absolute trash, dude.
Really?
Like if you sit in the main menu, you're automatically signed online all the time, right? Because you can go to the main menu with your party just because you can play campaign, zombies, and multiplayer with more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're sitting there in the main menu, and because of the server issues, it will literally just disconnect you from Xbox Live and say, problem connecting to Xbox Live. And it puts you in local mode, and you have to sign back in to the online mode. Every time it does that, and the servers are having issues like in game. I don't know if you know Nick Gamers, one of his friends,
Yeah.
Machinator. Like we tried to play the other night, and his team deathmatch won't work. Like the server is broke for him on team deathmatch. Like we tried to go into it with him as a party leader, and it kicked both of us out. But I could get into it fine. So that was kind of frustrating, and just the unreliableness of it. Unreliability is the word I should have used. Because if you have a full team of 6, it's guaranteed that one of your guys isn't going to make it into the lobby.
Does the game,
So-
like while you're in the game, does it drop out? Or
Not
is it,
usually-
like,
not
once
usually,
you're
but-
actually in the game, it works.
Yeah, once you're in the game, for the most part, it's fine. But something I have noticed is it's kind of annoying that it seems that they don't have a server. Or not, I'm sorry, not a server, but it seems like they don't have what am I trying to say? They don't have like a base server to hold Hawaii connections because my ping is like always over 120 in the games.
Well, do
And
they,
that's
are they running dedicated servers, or is it...
No, it's all host based.
Okay, that's probably why.
But in the beta, I was always under like 40 or 50.
This is even when you're just going in by yourself trying to connect?
Yeah, this is ping all the time.
Oh.
So it's just really annoying because, I don't know what happened between the beta and now, but they need to fix it because some games, everybody else is like full green and I'm yellow. So. But I don't know. If I said, if you had $60 and you're like, should I buy this game? I would say yes. Because it's unfortunate that Advanced Warfare was so stupid and crappy that it kind of gave people like a bad taste in their mouth of Call of Duty. So I bet a lot of people won't buy Call of Duty Black Ops 3 because of Advanced Warfare, even though it's 2 different companies, but most people don't know that. So
I've heard a lot of people say that it is like people say it's the best one in 3 years, so it's like the older Black Ops. Is that true?
yeah, I mean it's just a vamped up with a few new features Black Ops 2. You know what I mean? I mean it feels the same. I guess it feels as close to the same as it could with the ability to run on walls and that sort of thing. So
Is it like Titanfall? Is that kind of how that works? Running on the walls?
yes, because you can aim down sights, you can hit fire while running and stuff like that on the walls and all that sort of stuff. And honestly, it feels a lot like Titanfall now that you say that. I didn't really thought about that before, but
I mean, that's the first
It's-
thing I thought of when I heard that they were gonna have the
I
wall
mean
running.
everything about it. I mean the mantling, all that stuff.
They have giant mechs that you can drive.
Oh yeah, dude. No,
And it's not as
that'd be
good.
sick though. That'd be sick though. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I really enjoy the game so far. Halo 5 is definitely better. But we'll talk about that in a second, which is now.
Alright, if we're going into Halo 5, then let's just bounce right off that. Talking about Call of Duty's bad connection issues. I have not noticed any problems, like,
No,
at all.
none.
None. Like, not even one. No problem at all with the, I mean, you can tell that some players are lagging, but it's not like whole games are super laggy.
Right.
You connect the matches really fast. You don't just drop out. I'll take that back. I have the first couple of days that it was live. I had a couple of times where I dropped out of a match, but it only happened a total of like 3 times.
5 times? Oh, well, it happened to me a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first couple of days when everything was, getting booted up. So I
Right.
can forgive that. But yeah, it doesn't have near the problems that it seems like most other multiplayer games have that come out. And definitely nothing anywhere close to the Master Chief Collection problems.
Oh, nothing.
Which everybody said, if they have multiplayer problems, Halo's
They're
done.
burnt.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
that's it.
burnt for sure.
So yeah,
I mean, I said that, so
Yeah.
and I'm a Halo fanboy. I mean, because
Yeah.
it was really frustrating.
there was
so.
there was no other option. It had to be perfect, and I think they definitely
yeah.
nailed it.
Definitely.
So that is one really, really nice thing. So what do you want to talk about first, multiplayer or the campaign?
I would say we can talk about the campaign first since it's shorter.
All right. This, I guess this is going to be some spoilers. I don't know how long we're going to be talking about this, but it's been almost 2 weeks since the game's come out. I figured if somebody really wanted it, then they've already bought it and played through it.
Right.
But if not, this is some spoilers, so skip ahead. I don't know. What do you think? 20 minutes? 15, 20 minutes or so.
Maybe, yeah, something like that. 15 minutes, I'll say.
So, I did not like the campaign when I first played through it. Now, when I went back and played through it with you, it's kind of, I'm enjoying it a little bit more the second time. But the first time, I definitely did not.
I think it's. Well, I'm just gonna add this in really quick. I think it's because you were expecting so much more out of it than what it gave you. That's why.
Well, I think everybody was, because they made this huge deal through all the marketing stuff about this big showdown between Chief and Locke and all this stuff. Like the one video that everybody was all analyzing that showed Chief beat up under the statue and Locke's about to kill him. And then the other one came out when Locke's down under the statue and Chief's about to kill him.
Right.
It's all this back and forth, this building up this huge showdown. And even the cover art of the game is the Chief and Locke kind of facing off.
Right.
But when you actually play the game, it kind of starts off like that. Chief's just doing a normal mission, Locke's just doing a normal mission, and then Chief gets this message from Cortana, and he's like, we're going to find Cortana, and they just take off the whole team. So Oni's like, whoa, we can't.
Well, there's more to it than that, but
yeah, I mean, condensed down. So they're like, whoa, we can't have blue team just taking off and doing their own thing. And so they send Locke to go get him, and Locke, he's a good little soldier. He's like, yes sir, But Buck, Buck's hesitant. That's when he says, when people find out we're going to hunt down the Chief, then, they're going to hate us.
right.
So then they start chasing him down. And when they finally, actually meet, face off, it builds up, really intense. Locke is standing there with Chief, and their two teams are kind of backed off. And the rest of the blue team runs through this little teleporter thing, and Locke's the Chief's about to go, and Locke's you better not do it. And I forget what Chief says. He turns around and he's like, what does he say? Locke says something about Cortana, I think. And that's what gets Chief. And he turns around and he's like, no, you won't. And then that's it. And so they start fighting, and they're going back and forth, punching each other. And so they have that one little showdown, and of course Chief beats Locke because Chief's the best. Chief takes off, but then after that, they find out, oh wait, he's actually doing something good. Maybe we should go help him out. And it's total switch.
But here's the thing, And that is true. I mean, what I'm going to say is not going to disagree with that statement, but I think that because when what's his face says, when Buck says, they're going to hate us for this or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Locke says, you're not the only one who's here because of him. So obviously, it's something that Master Chief did, besides save humanity, somehow directly affected Locke. So I think even from the beginning, Locke was already kind of hesitant about trying to take in the Chief, just because of the fact of who Master Chief is, and the whole video propaganda of making it seem like Master Chief was doing anything wrong. Going AWOL is obviously one of the worst offenses in a military standpoint, but to the degree that it happened he didn't really do anything there drastically wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they made it seem like the trailers, they were like, oh, he's freaking detonating everything, and
Yeah, it's
people
like
are
the worst
dying
thing
because of
ever.
him. And when really, he didn't do anything. It was Cortana doing everything.
Well, and I don't know if you listen to Hunt the Truth, but
Yeah,
I
I
was
did.
listening to that. And in Hunt the Truth, the journalist, he finds this, starts finding this information that kind of points to Chief going and like busting into these peace talks and like shooting the place up and killing a bunch of people and like kidnapping this ambassador guy. And like that information is stuff that Olney's been putting out to like defame the Chief's name and like making everybody hate
Right.
him and turn against him. But like none of that's in the game. It's like a totally separate thing. Like you don't even get any of that in the game. It's like, oh yeah, he ran off to go find Cortana, and then when they figure out, oh wait, Cortana's doing some other bad stuff, yeah, let's go help the Chief out. It's like
Right.
it's none of this super crazy like Chief is just out here going rogue and doing all this stuff and nobody knows what's going on, and they're all trying to find him and like bring him to justice or whatever. There's like none of
Right.
that. So it's like, okay, what happened to it? And then even the showdown scene when Luke when Locke and the
Really?
Chief
Luke and Vader?
yeah, when Luke and Vader finally see each other and fight. No, when Locke and Chief finally meet up, there's a cool little cutscene, but it doesn't let you do it. I figured it would let you participate. Like you would be either the Chief or you would be Locke, and you would be running around like shooting at each other and trying to
Right.
do that. It wasn't any of that. It was just this little cutscene, a couple minutes long, and then that's it.
And it's not going to be that, because as far as I'm concerned, we haven't beat it on Legendary, so I don't know what the last cutscene is on Legendary is.
Well, I know what it is. I don't know if you want me to tell you.
Did you beat it?
No, but I know what it is because I've heard what it is.
Oh, what is it?
It's just a It's just a. I can't remember exactly if Cortana's in it, but it shows like a new Halo, like Cortana's building a new Halo.
Oh, I mean, there's like 3
that's it.
Halos left, so I wouldn't put it past that to happen. So there's like 7 in total, and there's like 3 left.
Yeah, so it's, and there's been some debate about that, like, is that like destroying the flood or destroying all sentient life and then in turn destroying the flood? Some people are like, maybe that's not the original purpose of the Halos. Maybe it's this whole galactic peace thing. Like that's what the
Right.
Halos do.
Right, because when like the humans might be getting out of control,
Yeah.
and so
So there's like debate. Maybe Cortana's trying to use the Halos to do that, but
right.
yeah. At the end of the game, it's like Luke and why do I keep
Oh my
saying
gosh,
that?
stop! At the end of the
At
game,
the end of the movie,
it's-
Luke and Vader, they actually bond.
they're best
and-
friends.
No,
Oh.
Locke and the Chief, they're just like hanging out like buddies, walking off the Pelican. It's like, really, like what happened to all this huge buildup?
Yeah, because like Palmer was like telling everybody to go get Chief, and then it's like Halsey, the Arbiter, and Sarah Palmer at a freaking like encampment, and they get off the Pelican, and she says something stupid. She's like, "What took you so long?"
Yeah,
And then it's over. Like he's like, "Well, I had to do some stuff, so I'm back now."
yeah. They don't really give a whole lot of depth to what's going on. They kind of throw all these characters in here now. These like big important characters like Locke. Nobody knows anything about his background. Apparently it's like alluded that he's some master like assassin guy who's like taking down all these targets when he's
Well, he's just like
talking
I
to
think he's just like an
Arbiter.
Oni assassin.
Yeah, but it's like, no, we don't talk about that. It's like, what? Like all this stuff about this character you could go into, and it's like, no, you're not going to go into it at all.
Right.
So there's no basis for what Locke is doing. Like you said, he alludes to maybe the Chief did something to affect him, but that's it. They just throw it out there and move on. It's just a lot of that, like throwing all these characters in there.
I'm pretty
and
sure they're
nobody
just
knows
trying
what
to
they
set
can
up
do.
for some ginormous thing. In the
I'm
sixth
sure
one.
I'm sure. The other thing though is like the other 3 members of Blue Team, what is it, Linda, Fred, and
Kelly.
yeah, Kelly. Like, where have they been this whole time?
Yeah, I mean that is something I would like to know as well.
And I
because, mean,
watched, and I figured, the Fall of Reach animated series, maybe that'll like explain kind of where they came from, and that explains how close of a bond they are. I think they mentioned something when Locke is talking to his team.
No, they're
they
like
say something like their family or something like that.
Yeah, 'cause
or
they're-
they ask like, well, why did the other three follow Chief? And he's
yeah,
like,
why'd
well,
they
they're
go with
family.
him? Yeah,
And it show like the Fall of Reach series shows that it shows like all the training stuff they had to go through and why they're so closely connected, but it doesn't say where the heck they've been for all these years since they left Reach. It's like all of a sudden they're back and they're doing missions. Like, what? Like where were they at?
Like 8 years, I think, right?
Yeah, where were they at when Chief was single-handedly saving the human race?
Right.
It's like were they just off kind of like doing their own little missions? If they're the last Spartans, you think they would send them out together because they would be even more unstoppable.
Right.
But yeah, there's no explanation for that, which is really stupid. And even if you don't like read the books, or which I would guess most people wouldn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even if you don't read the books and watch all the miniseries and all this stuff, if you're just coming from playing the games, Halo Reach 1, 2, 3, 4, ODST, and now 5, there's no other Spartans except for Reach when it shows they're like trying to get off the planet, but they all die to get the Chief out of there. And in Halo 1, he's
not the Chief to get the AI,
right. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Chief's already off of Reach at that point.
No, he's on the ship when they leave.
Remember
it because you can go in that cutscene if you hold one of the things.
No, I know, but I heard that was actually Kelly or Linda.
No, it's pretty obviously the Chief.
I mean, you don't know that, dude.
I'm pretty sure because
look it up again.
Okay, so if they leave the planet on that ship, because that's Cortana that they take to the ship, right? Yes,
what?
It is. That's Cortana that they take to the ship on Reach.
Right.
The Pillar of Autumn. That's the ship that leaves. So when the Pillar of Autumn takes off, and they pop out of slip space by the Halo, Chief's the only Spartan on the ship. And so it's like he's the only one, because Reach was where the Spartan program was. So there weren't Spartans running all over the place.
All right, you got me.
There weren't Spartans running all over the galaxy. And Pillar of Autumn's like one of the only ships that got off Reach. And so Master Chief, he's like the last one. That's why he's so important, because he's the last Spartan. He's like the last hope for humanity. So
right.
If these other 3 Spartan 2s, which were like ridiculous, genetically modified, like way better than any of the other Spartans that they made up till then, even better than Locke and his team, like where have they been for all this time when all this stuff is going on?
There has to be a reason.
When the Covenant attacked Earth, where were the other Spartans at? I don't
has to be
understand.
a reason. I mean,
I'm
I just
sure
don't
there's
understand.
a reason, but why? You would think that they would tell you that in the game instead of just throwing them in there and be like, "Oh, hey, by the way, your team, your guys, yeah, your guys that you grew up with, that are your family, here they are," and there's like, "Oh, hanging out, yeah, oh, Chief." Fred's like, I hadn't seen Chief this messed up since we were in training. He's like, what are you talking about? You haven't seen Chief
You haven't seen Chief at all. Like, where have you been?
Yeah. So I'm like, are they just stupid, or do they not even? I don't know. I am hoping that there will be some type of story DLC, because, and here's my reason for this, is they're putting out all the map stuff for free, right? Because and I guess you can kind of say it's like a makeup whatever for the crap fest that Master Chief Collection was when it first started. But every game has DLC. Like most game companies, they can't make money off a game unless there's DLC after the fact that is purchased. So
They're not gonna put any more campaign playable stuff out for money. If they do that, they're dead. Like that'd be a dumb idea.
why do you think that?
Why do I think that?
I mean, other games do that, and people buy it. Like The
Yeah,
Witcher 3, they put out a bunch of free stuff for Witcher 3.
Yeah,
but
and I agree with that. But okay, I agree with that. But that's DLC. This is stuff that should have been in the game, just like Mass Effect 3's ending.
yeah, that's true. But still, I
So
don't know what their plan is, because to just leave that, because it takes a long time for a Halo to come out, right? It's not like Call of Duty, they come out every year. Was it been 3-4 years since Halo 4?
4 years.
Yeah, 4 years since Halo 4. So are we going to have to wait another 4 years to find out where the rest of Blue Team came from, what Locke's background is, how all this stuff came about? Because it's totally new, separate stuff that's going on in Halo 5 than there was in Halo 4. It's like, where's all the in-between stuff? Like, what happened in between?
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thought, though. Halo Wars 2 is coming out, right?
Right. Well, when do you
So,
think this will take place?
yeah, I don't know. Maybe Halo Wars 2 is that time frame in between 4 and 5.
Maybe Halo Wars 2 is the campaigns of Blue Team.
Interesting.
That'd be pretty dope, dude.
That would. But yeah, I mean, there's got to be something before Halo 6, because there's too many holes in the campaign of Halo 5 to explain anything that's going on. So while I really like the gameplay mechanics of the campaign, I like the squad stuff. I like the actual, purposeful 4-player co-op where it doesn't just throw like some stupid random elite guy that you get to play as. Like, each person has an actual character they play as.
Right.
I like the level design and the way the levels are set up. There's a lot of diversity in the levels, like the environments and stuff like that. But yeah, the story development and the character development is just totally abysmal.
Awful.
And I'm like, this is not what we've come to expect for a Halo game. Like, maybe it would be good for, Call of Duty, but this is Halo. I mean, this is a huge franchise. It's got all this stuff built
Like, honestly,
behind
so
it.
far, Black Ops 3 had a better campaign than Halo 5.
Yeah, so I've talked to people who are on either side of the fence, but I don't know. Maybe I'm more critical of it because I am a Halo fanboy.
Right.
And I really, I started hearing rumors of people saying, oh, the campaign, when it was on that day that it came out Tuesday, people were like, oh, it's not as good as people are expecting, and it
that's
it
what you
doesn't
told
doesn't live up to all this hype. And I was like, they're just haters, man. It's Halo. I'm sure it's going to be good, but yeah, then I played through and I'm like, wow, this is it. Like, and I got to the end, I'm like, that's the end. Like, this is it.
Right.
Yeah, so very disappointing, and I hope that they do something to kind of expand that. And it's a good thought. I had not considered that Halo Wars 2 before, because I think they said that's supposed to come out next year sometime.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the middle of 17.
Yeah, so.
But, what would be cool, though, would be like a Halo 3 ODST, maybe like
Yeah, a little spin-off type thing.
like a Halo 5 like Blue Team or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
because Halo 3 ODST was not requested by anyone or anything, but the story and background that it gave from that perspective was really cool in my opinion. I mean, ODST is one of my favorite games just for the story sake.
Oh yeah,
so.
mine too. And it really, that gives you an in-depth of who Buck is. Like, cause Buck refers to the Chief, and and stuff like that. And through the dialogue of the game, there's near the end, near one of the last levels where you're running around doing stuff, and Cortana's talking about the different members of Locke's team. She refers to Buck's past of stuff that, happened in ODST. So I was like, yeah, I played that, so I know what she's talking about.
All right, because she says like, it's because she says like a highly skilled soldier, but like second fiddle to like the rest of the team because he's so old and he gets mad.
He's got like more like combat experience and all that stuff than all the other team members, but he's almost like the junior member of Team Osiris.
Right.
And I wish too, it's like we talked about Chief's team, we can talk about Locke's team. We talked about Locke specifically, how he doesn't have a whole lot of background. But the other two members, Tanaka and Vale.
Yeah, all the information they give is just what freaking Cortana says about them, pretty much.
And it's crazy stuff. Like, I want to know more about what she said.
So like Tanaka, I forget what she said. Tanaka was like, Tanaka was on her planet when it got glassed, and all of her, like everybody died. And then I guess Vale like watched her family like get murdered or something like that. Like,
yeah, it's crazy stuff. And it's like, yeah, tell me
more
about
say that and then not say anything else about it.
Expand those characters. It's like, that's it. Just throw this new information out there and move on and never talk about it again.
All right.
Like,
oh man, they better talk about him in freaking Halo 6. Like they're talking about the team more.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oh, and another thing, last thing that frustrated me about the Chief Locke fight is the Spartan 2s were like ridiculously, like totally unethically genetically altered to be like superhuman fighting machines. And in the Fall of Reach, it shows how the Chief, when he's like 15 or something like that, like actually kills 3 ODST guys in a weight room because they were like messing with him, and he just fights them and kills them with his bare hands. And and then when he fights Locke, like the Spartan 4s, like they're pretty they're pretty strong. Like they have a little bit of modification, but
they heavily rely on their suit.
Right, it's all about their suit.
As opposed to their genetics.
Right, but the Chief, like the Spartan 2s are supposed to be like these ultra powerful, like walking tanks. And Locke was like beating the Chief up. Like he smacked him in the face and like cracked his visor. I'm like, what is that? Chief could just like pick Locke up and just throw him across the room.
Yeah, he should be able to just. I don't know though. I mean, that could be taken as an interpretation of Chief's mind at that point. Like very, very exhausted, very, very confused, very, like not able to like maybe put his strength together because of everything that was going on around him.
I guess you'd say that, but again,
because when they were fighting, Chief took a hit, from Locke and like put his fists on the ground to get himself back up. Like he was, he was definitely like feeling the effects of the fight instead of just being able to,
Yeah, but I don't know. But that's my thoughts on the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I kind of agree, I guess, with what you said. I do think that the dynamics, I do really like the dynamics of the co-op aspect of it. I love the chatter between the characters. I mean, I don't know. I just really like that when, I mean, I've said it before a million times, but I love it when in-game characters talk amongst themselves. So if you listen to them, they say so much interesting stuff. I mean, they say funny stuff, say interesting stuff, all that kind of stuff. And I really like that, especially between these kind of units in this kind of game.
Yeah.
But.
All right, so want to talk about multiplayer?
Yeah, multiplayer is like flawless.
Yeah. So on the scale of all the Halo games, where do you think this multiplayer ranks?
The best?
You think it's the best?
Yeah, why?
I think Halo 2's is better, but I'm probably gonna always think that, like no matter what
The only
game
reason
comes
I
out.
think that is because it had the most influence on your life.
I don't know about that because that's like appealing to the nostalgia factor. And I mean, you can say that, but we can go back and play. I mean, even though it's amped up on the Master Chief Collection, like it's got the 60 frames a second, 1080p resolution, but we can go back and play it right now. It's not something that we can't touch anymore. We just have to remember how good it is. Like we can go back and play it today, and I think it is. I don't know. It's like the most perfect multiplayer shooter game that I think ever existed. I don't know. The weapons felt good. It was really intense. You had to be like totally committed to the game to do anything. It took a lot of skill. There wasn't like a whole lot of cheap stuff like they started adding later with all the armor abilities or the whatever. It wasn't like it could be, but it wasn't a grenade fest like Halo 3 was. It was the best one in my opinion. But underneath Halo 2, Halo 5 is definitely the best multiplayer out of all the other ones. I think it has a lot of similarities to Halo 4, and it took the good things about Halo 4 and expanded on them. Halo 4, they made a lot of the weapons actually better than the other games, because the other games there were some weapons that you would pick up and just throw away because they were trash. It was like you just use it you use it long enough to find something else. And Halo 4 made that a little bit better, but now Halo 5, yeah, pretty much every weapon you can get and do something with. And there's always somebody who's going to be good with something that you're not good with.
Right.
I haven't, except maybe the fuel rod, but there's still people that are really good at fuel rod, but the fuel rod's the only one I can think of where I get it and I can't do anything with it. But maybe I'm just used to the old fuel rods that were more like rocket launcher splash damage. This one's not like that. You gotta almost hit it like right next to them to do any damage. But besides that, all the weapons are pretty good. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think every weapon is very well done, and the weapons that they kind of just threw into Halo 4, like you said, they definitely fixed those weapons, such as like the storm rifle.
Yeah.
And like the carbine isn't like ridiculously OP. Like in Halo 4, if you got the carbine, you could like kill anyone.
Yeah.
So
And the bolt shot, I'm finding the bolt shot is probably one of the best weapons in the game for like a close medium range weapon. It just seems like, I don't know what it is exactly. Maybe like the accuracy or the damage or something is kind of hiked up to make them better all across the board, all the weapons. I haven't really used the suppressor that much. I didn't really like it on Halo 4, but it's pretty good in the campaign.
yeah, I mean, in the suppressor in Halo 5, all the weapons they shoot differently. I'm sure you know that, but
Yeah.
like
they
the
don't work
bolt
the same.
shot does not shoot the same whatsoever. And
Yeah, it
Halo
doesn't-
4 it was like a plasma pistol more
Yeah,
or
it was
less,
like a
the
one
way it
shot, and then you
shot.
could like charge it up to be like a little shotgun blast or something, but it doesn't do
Yeah.
that. It's like you don't charge it up anymore, and it shoots 2 shots at a time, but they kind of like
Yeah.
seek the target if you aim
Right.
it close enough. And
Which
it
is
does a
awesome
lot of
because
damage.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, if you hit people with land 3 of those bursts on someone, they're dead. I mean,
Yeah, like 3 or 4 shots, they're done for sure.
and
Go
never
ahead.
mind, go ahead.
Sorry. No.
Well, I was gonna just talk about the game modes. The
Yeah,
new
that's what
ones.
I was going to go into too.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, I said it before when the beta was out, but man, I love Breakout. I love being in that position. Usually so in Breakout, the person that gets the VR is usually like the person on
They're the ones you
Overwatch.
gotta watch out for, yeah.
So they're like Overwatch, and they'll call out positions, and I love games where you kind of where you rely on that.
Yeah. Because there's no radar, there's no shields. It's just like if somebody gets the first shot on you, usually you're done.
Right?
So
Yeah,
you need
they get the drop
you need
on
that
you.
communication for everybody watching out where the other players are.
Right. Yeah, and it is freaking awesome.
Yeah, Breakout is definitely my favorite, but I don't play it at all unless I have a team of people in the party that I'm talking to.
Right.
I can, even though I don't like playing Arena or um, the Slayer or any of those, or SWAT even. I play SWAT sometimes by myself, but most of the time I don't mind playing those other ones, but I don't prefer it because usually you get paired with somebody who's terrible and you
Garbage.
lose.
Yeah,
And
you
it
get
doesn't
really
matter how
mad.
good you do. If you lose, you don't gain rank.
Right.
But yeah, Breakout is one that I won't play it at all. In Unless
If
I
I don't
have a
have,
party.
I mean, I can have 3 people and be okay with it because usually 3 people I know, including myself, can win a game for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's just me and then like if it was just me or you, I would not want to play Breakout.
Yeah.
But
So,
I guess the reason I really like Breakout is because I feel like I do really good in it. It makes me feel good about myself. So, because like that's like my roots playing that old like real competitive style Halo, you know.
yeah.
So, I just really enjoy that game mode.
Yeah, Breakout. I think we like it because it's a lot like SWAT too. Like it's really you have to be good at the game. Like it's total skill in order to be good at it. Like if you get in there and you're not quite as good, then you're just gonna get steamrolled.
Yeah, you're gonna
Whereas
get
in
destroyed.
like Slayer or Arena, you can kind of, I guess you kind of run around like find the power weapons if you want and like hold your own a little bit on those, but uh, the SWAT, I guess it's because you don't have that shield backing you up in either SWAT or Breakout.
Right.
It's pure like you have to get first shot on somebody. Like you have to get the drop on them. You have to aim better than them.
You just have to be like overall better than the other
you
person.
have to
Like,
be
that's
better
just
than
it.
the other person and win because it's no add-ons. It's just both of you, and it's an even fight usually too. Like everybody starts off with the same guns, and like you said, there's
It's an
maybe one or two
asymmetrical
that you
map,
pick up.
so
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 guns you can pick up on the map, but generally you're facing off somebody with a pistol or SMG. Whereas the other game modes, you can pick up. There's all kinds of weapons on the map, and
right.
grenades all over the place. Where you only get one in Breakout unless you get the grenade pile somewhere on the map. So yeah, it's a lot of at like a base level. It's a lot more even playing field. So you have to outskill the other players in order to win.
Right.
But
And I mean, I don't know. Breakout's just one of those games, man. I mean, and I get mad playing it too because like I just know what it takes to kill someone, and when that doesn't happen, it's just really annoying. So,
net lag though.
but
Yeah, so
the
we
one
talked
thing
about
about Breakout,
What? Go ahead.
so the one thing about Breakout is no offense to like people who think they're good at the game, but they're actually not. But like I'm sorry, but the VR is meant for someone that's actually good. So. If you start the game and you get the VR and you're trash, but you just get the VR because you want to, you're probably gonna lose the game for your team.
Yeah, no, a good player should realize that they're not good with a weapon. Like me, I know Taylor is better with the VR in that mode than I am, so I let him get it. I'm not just like gonna go
But
run
on
it
the same
because I want it.
same plane as that, if you were like I'm gonna get that's what's nice about playing with people who are equally skill level, because if for some reason like the left side is getting heavily barraged every round, then I have no problem being like, okay, Christian, you need to get the BR this round. You know what I mean? And we'll swap out. Like that's what's nice about having someone that's good like you on your team or a full team of that, because if the occasion arises to where I think that we need more guns in a certain area, then we can just shift everyone around.
Yeah, it's not like just the total random guy who's not talking just runs up grabs the BR just to have it and like dies.
Usually dies.
Yeah,
We
just
die.
runs
He
over
dies.
and dies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess.
So we talked about Breakout. SWAT is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but
I
SWAT
hate
is.
the Magnums though.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
the
cannot
Magnums
stand them.
are the
It seems
most
like
inconsistent, but at the same time overpowered weapon in the game.
yeah, they're totally inconsistent, dude. Like I can sit there. It seems like I'm just shooting all around the guy's head except right on his head. Sometimes I'm like, I don't understand how it works. And then you run around a corner and they can pop you like right away.
Right.
But I don't do terrible, but I mean it's a marked difference between the SWAT or the SWATnums and the BR, the regular SWAT.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I usually don't get mad in regular SWAT, but in swatting them, oh, forget about it. Oh my gosh, it's really, really frustrating.
Yeah. So not a fan of that. And that's another thing that you can't in this multiplayer now. You can't vote on the map and game mode, which I like but don't like. I like it because in Halo 4, when we play, everybody always votes for Halo 4 on Haven, or everybody
Right.
always votes for like that one Halo 3 map, and some of the other maps that we like never get played because all the young kids who only know Halo 3 and Halo 4 just want to play those.
Right.
So you can get the diversity of all the game modes and all the maps, but on the ones that you don't like, you get stuck with it. And it seems like I get SWATnums more often than I get the regular SWAT.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I don't like that aspect of it. But Team Slayer, that's pretty basic. Same thing that it has been in every other Halo game. But then Team Arena is like the new team objective, except that you can have a Slayer game type or you can have a Breakout game type in there, as well as the Capture the Flag or the Strongholds, like the Domination one.
Which Stronghold is a super annoying game mode, and I don't know what it is about it, but it just seems really unbalanced.
I think it depends. I don't know. I don't know really, because the very first Strongholds game I played, we won 100 points to 0. But then there's some games where it's like we just can't do anything. Like I'll go to one base and I'll get killed. So I'm like, I'll get killed by 3 of the enemy players, 3 out of the 4 enemy players. So I'm like, okay, next spawn, I'm gonna run over to this other base that's across the map, and I'll go over there, and there's like 2 or 3 guys.
They're
over
all
there.
there.
Yeah, it's like what in the world? But I don't know. I think that one's weird because there's some games that I do really good and some games that are just like the worst, like my worst game of all time.
Yeah. And also, and Stronghold is one of the game modes that really frustrates me, so I hate playing that one because I get real mad playing that one. So
yeah, I'd probably do get more frustrated playing Strongholds than anything else. So we talked about the arena game modes. How about Warzone?
I really like Warzone. For what it's worth, I don't think that, like I said earlier, Halo 5, or well, Halo in general, for the most part anymore, Halo is not a fun game to play by yourself. Like, I would never want to get on and just play Halo with myself, you know what I mean? Because,
yeah,
I don't know, it's just one of those games where it's just not fun unless you have other people with you, which kind of sucks nowadays because used to I had no problem with getting online, playing by myself.
right.
But with the new Halos, it's a little different. So Warzone is especially not fun if you have a lot of bad players on your team, as we kind of stated before, because you can't just win by killing people in Warzone, unfortunately. So that's kind of frustrating because if that was the case, then I had no problem having a few bad players on my team, because I could probably carry them. But when you have to kill these like semi-difficult AIs to even, have any kind of run for first place, it's really annoying.
Yeah.
But
I think we I don't know if you were there when I talked about this, when we talked about the vehicles in Warzone, about how the maps are, they seem like closed in, like there's rocks and stuff and trees all over the place, and there's these like winding paths where it directs the vehicles into certain pathways. It's not really open like, some of the older games were. Like, you think about Blood Gulch, you have two bases and then like the sides that you can go on and snipe or whatever. But then you have this huge open space in the middle with vehicles that can go anywhere.
Right.
But in Warzone, everything is like channeled into these certain lanes that you have to go down. So like you pull out a tank, you use one of your little burn card things on a tank. You pull out the tank, you only have like one of two ways to go. And you go and you run into the enemy Wraith who's going, because he has to go the exact same way. And so you shoot each other and blow each other up, and that's the end of it.
Yep.
It's like you don't really have the freedom to go, like you can't avoid that. Like you can't avoid those engagements. Like if you see an enemy tank coming up, you can't like take off and run it like run a different way and go around them. It's all channeled into these same paths. The only thing you can do is, like, if you have a Banshee, you can fly all over the map wherever you want. That's the only freedom you have in a vehicle. Otherwise, you're like stuck in these certain paths. So I hope, and I think they are doing this because they're making new maps for the Big Team Battle mode. So I hope when they put those out that it's more open for the vehicles, and it's more like the traditional game modes or maps where the vehicles just spawn on the map and you grab one when they spawn instead of having to use the card things, which I'm sure it'll be like that because the card...
No, that better be how Big Team Battle is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the card thing is specific for Warzone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm hoping that the Big Team Battle will be more like open vehicle combat, because in Warzone, I almost don't use the vehicles anymore unless it's like something that we have to like get somewhere fast, or we have to roll a vehicle into a base to capture it. But generally, like, if I don't just take out a vehicle just because I have it, because most often I run into an enemy vehicle and it's just like a face off and we both blow up. So yeah, I don't like that aspect of it.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because honestly, I just sell all of my rec cards except for my boost cards, like my experience boost, my rec points boost, like
oh really?
blah blah blah. Yeah, because I prefer to stick to my gun and my wit most of the time, so I'd rather just spawn with a DMR.
Yeah, I've almost started doing that. And I have a lot of, like, the base guns you get. I have a lot of different variations of them. And some of my BRs are really good. I probably got like 10 different BRs, and some of them are really good. And I've got better versions of the assault rifles and stuff. So yeah, honestly, most of the time I do stick with those. Every so often, I'll pull out a sniper or something, and sometimes I can do good with it, but most of the time I end up dying with it anyways.
Right.
And when you drop a weapon, it disappears really, really fast in Warzone.
Like within like 10 seconds.
Yeah, because I guess there's so much going on the map. It has to get rid of the small assets like that. So yeah, like I'll die, and even if I die and then spawn pretty close to the same point and run back over to where I was, my weapon's already gone. Yeah, like you said, within like 15 seconds they're gone. So
it's like, you gotta imagine like if you die on the Spire in one of the maps, defending it, right? Like let's say you have a shotgun.
Yeah.
So you die on the Spire and you spawn back on the Spire, and it's only been like a 6-second respawn. It's already gone.
Yeah, like one time yesterday we were playing. I was up on the Spire with like a light rifle or something, and I got blown up by a grenade or shot from somebody way down on the ground. So I spawn, and it puts me like kind of down at the bottom. So I run up one of the rocks and jump on the top, go to my body, and it's already gone. Within that like 6-second respawn plus whatever 2 or 3 seconds it took to jump back up there.
Right. So that either means that a lot of people, that means that someone took it from you, or that it's just the fact that,
Yeah, it's like, and I have, like I open so many packs and get so many cards, where it's like I'll never use all those weapons because I don't want to pull out a rocket launcher and then get killed by a banshee on the roof of my base as soon as I spawn and lose it.
Right, and then you lose it. Yeah.
So it's like I've kind of got out of the habit of using them unless I really feel like I can do something with them.
Right. It's like I'd rather just use my DMR to kill somebody with a rocket launcher and just take that from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, vehicles too. Like I find myself shooting a lot of guys out of the ghosts and stuff, and then I'll run over and take their ghosts and use it. So yeah, there's certain weapons that I know I'll never use, so I just sell as soon as I get them, like fuel rods and needlers. I just sell as soon as I get them, even though a needler's good and I've used them every once in a while. It's not something that I want to replace, my main loadout with.
Especially a DMR, like.
Yeah. So yeah, most of the time I'll stick with and I don't have the DMR yet, so I'll have BR as one of my weapons, and I'll have either a SMG or assault rifle as the other one. And yeah, a lot of the mongooses, I'll just sell all those mongoose, however you want to say it. I sell most of those. The stupid scout warthogs, the just 2-seater ones, I sell all those because there's no point. Yeah, I sell all that stuff because I like getting the armor and stuff anyway, so I just sell all those to get more points to find armor.
Yeah, because the way to get, so you can sell your rec cards and then get rec points, which will lead to rec packs, which gold rec packs will give you awesome armor stuff. So that's kind of why I do that.
Yeah.
So
I wish there was more maps on Warzone though. There's only like 3 maps.
Yeah, and that does.
So they kind of get old after a while.
Okay, this is the only reason, in my opinion, that they get old at all is because the rotation is garbage.
Yeah, that's true. If I find I play the same map 3 times in a row, and those Warzone matches, they'll last a long time. So after playing the same map 2 or 3 times, you're like, okay.
Like you just spent like a half an hour on the same map.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's something. But I'm sure they'll be adding more Warzone maps as time goes on. And of course we'll have the big team battle maps, which I don't expect there to be many of those, because it seems like Breakout, there's 3 or 4 maps in Breakout.
I think 4, yeah.
There's 3 Warzone maps. I think there might be, I don't know if there's a different map for one of the assault modes, or if it's just the same ones, just a different area.
The same one, different area, yeah.
But I thought there was a total of 4 Warzone maps. I thought I saw 3 somewhere. Anyways, yeah, Arena and Slayer, there's only a handful of maps, and it seems like there's 2 maps that are almost the exact same. Like they're almost identical, except slightly. One has a little catwalk thing. You know which ones I'm talking about? It's Eden and something else.
Wait. So, tell me what was the original question you asked? Like one that gets played a lot, or?
No, in the the regular modes, Arena and Slayer.
Yeah.
There's 2 maps that are almost the same map. You know what I'm talking about? They're both on the sky. They're both in the skyscraper, on the top of the skyscraper.
It's Eden and is it Coliseum?
I don't know what the other name was, but anyways. So yeah, it's there's only subtle differences between the 2, just a different path on one that's not on the other. So it's almost like you're playing the same map, playing those. So there's a lot of maps in the game. I think there's supposed 15 or something like that, which is a pretty good number for a first-person shooter. But each mode has its own maps. So if you're playing one mode, if you're playing Breakout, you only play one of 4 maps at a time. So it's and yeah, you can get the same
you only
map.
have 4 maps to choose from. So.
Yeah, you can get the same map 2-3 times in a row.
Right.
Because you don't stay in a lobby. When the game's over, you exit a lobby and then reload.
So it pretty much just
reload a
resyncs
lobby.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like you're in the same lobby and it switches the map out every
Yeah.
game. It's like you reload the lobby and it could be the same map. Because
Right,
if
'cause
you
as
only
far as
have
it
3
knows-
or 4, it's not many for the game to choose from. So I'm sure there'll only be like 3 or 4 big team battle maps. But I mean, at least we have, the free map DLC to look forward to expand.
Right. If
And
I had to
how
pay
many-
for it, then what?
I mean, I would probably pay for it still because
Oh, I
I
will
like it.
too. But
How many maps usually do they put out in a map pack? Like, what, 4?
3 or 4.
Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be other game modes as well. There's
Probably
no-
like each map pack they put out probably be like freaking 1 Warzone, 1 new Breakout, and then 2 new Arena maps. Something stupid like that, probably.
Yeah, that'd probably sound about right. I'm sure they'll be adding more game modes in, like they do with Master Chief Collection. They're constantly rotating game modes. They put Shoddy Snipers in this weekend,
Which
like a
sucks. I
temporary
hate
thing.
Shy Snipers.
It's not my favorite, but I was playing it a little bit, and it's actually kind of enjoyable because the guns aren't crappy. Like in all the other Halos that had Shoddy Snipers, if you had to be pretty good with a sniper to do anything, because the shotgun sucked unless you're right on top of somebody. But the shotgun actually has like some decent range on this one, so I can just pull out the shotgun and do well, and the other guys who are good with sniper can do well.
Right.
Because the guns are actually they're pretty good. But yeah, it's not my first go-to. I'd like to see a team doubles. I'd like to maybe see a more specific objective mode rather than just throw
like
in
team objective?
breakout. Yeah, rather than just throwing breakout and Slayer in there, because it seems like when I'm playing Arena, I'm playing a Slayer game type more often than I'm playing like an actual objective game type.
Right.
I'd like to see maybe more objective game types than like just capture the flag and strongholds, like maybe oddball or something.
Yeah, I'm
different.
surprised.
Halo's got
Remember the one? What was the one in Halo 4 where you could throw the ball and like bounce it
Ricochet.
into the Ricochet? Yeah.
and that was that Halo 4? I thought it
Yeah.
was on the Halo 2 anniversary.
No, it was Halo 4.
Yeah, so and that one was a lot of fun. And the anniversary mode I think was a little different. Because I preferred that one. I preferred that version of that game mode more than the Halo 4 version.
Well, and the one thing I really like, I used to never really like oddball, but when you can in Halo 4 you can now throw the ball. That's
Yeah.
so fun. That makes the game a blast.
Yeah,
And,
Oddball in
you-
Halo 4 is a lot of fun. But yeah, so I'd like to see more diversity in the objective modes. Even just like a random, the Master Chief Collection has Action Sat, which is just a lot of just wacky, weird game modes that
Kind of
are
like
kinda
community
fun.
made game
Yeah.
modes.
And maybe, I guess when, I'm hoping, I've always wished, since Halo 3, when they put out Forge, you remember how they would put, community maps and community game modes that got a ton of votes into, playlist rotations?
Right.
I really hope that they go back and do something like that, because they haven't done that since then, I don't think.
Well, I mean, Halo 4, Forge wasn't really touched. Well, Halo 4 multiplayer wasn't really touched at all of it.
Yeah, Halo 4 kind of dropped off the map after Call of Duty came out that year. I don't know why. But yeah, going back to it, it's a lot more fun, but it didn't have that same community like Halo 3 had. So I'm hoping maybe they can bring some of that back. I think people are getting more tired of Call of Duty now. So maybe people will stick with Halo 5 since it's really good and they've kind of modernized it to appeal to more people. So
Right.
I'm hoping when that Forge mode comes out that, some people can make some good stuff and they can put that in their rotation. Because when they started doing that in Halo 3, it was like you could almost be playing a different map. You would almost not play the same map more than once in, an hour or two of playing, because
Right.
there was that many maps with all the community stuff that they would throw in there. And even though most of them were on that one what was it called, Foundry.
Foundry, yeah.
That one map, and there's certain assets that they could use, but people would make all kinds of different crazy stuff where it was like you're playing something totally different each time.
Right.
I hope that they do something like that to bring a lot more variety into it. Yeah, and I haven't really looked at the custom game modes, so I don't know if all those other game modes are in there, like all the oddball and stuff like that. I don't know if those are actually built into the game, because I haven't looked at that yet. But I'm sure when the Forge comes out, it'll be like everything else. You can build whatever type of game mode you want if you put enough time into it.
Because some of the best game modes on like Halo 2 and Halo 3 were freaking the custom made ones. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, we think like when we think about those old games, Halo 2 and Halo 3. I remember playing, especially Halo 3. I was talking to some guys yesterday. It's like, I think I played more Halo 3 custom games than I played of actual campaign levels or multiplayer matches.
right.
Because the custom modes were so crazy. You can do so much stuff with them. There was always tons of people on playing.
Always tons of people
Yeah,
playing. Like,
like-
you never had a problem finding
Yeah.
someone to play Halo custom games with.
And
Someone
it was even
always
fun.
doing it.
Like if you had one friend who was in like a party with two guys that you knew, and they were in a party with other guys they knew, you could have like 16 players in a game, and you could not know any of them, but you're still having a blast.
Like having a great time. Yeah, I miss that.
But yeah, like
Like,
I think we remember all those custom modes more than like the actual other modes, like the one mode on Foundry where it was like there were gravity lifts that were flinging all the cars and stuff at you that you had
It
to
was
dodge.
like the trash compactor
Yeah,
one.
trash something. And then
And
you
then,
had
like, the other one, you had the-
McDonald's kid with the one Juggernaut who had all the crazy shields, but he was
Yeah,
super
fat
slow.
kid, yeah. You like make your way through like a obstacle maze where you had to like beat the stuff out of the way to get through it, and he was like slowly coming towards
Yeah.
you with a gravity hammer.
And
Yeah, that
all
was scary.
all the tons and tons of zombie modes. I think that is what made Halo 3 good.
Right.
Because, like, we've talked about it before. When we go back and play Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection, it's terrible. Like, the guns all suck.
Mechanics
the
are
mechanics
garbage.
are really bad.
Yep.
It's all around just a really bad shooting game. But it was fun, and we remember it so well because it had that huge, strong community that you could always have a good time. Like, I remember I'd
Right.
be up super late every Friday night, just till like 3, 4 in the morning, just playing custom games all night long. And that's what we remember well about Halo 3. So I hope that somehow they can get back to something like that. But we'll see as the time goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully the thing is so one of the big things about old Halo were the different aspects of the communication with other players, and everyone is so privatized to their party chats anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
used to-
nobody's
and,
really
and,
ever
and it
in
was the
chat.
same way in Call of Duty. Like, you go into a game and everybody was talking. I mean, everybody
Right.
was either, running their mouth, just talking to each other, whatever. Because everyone had a mic and everybody was in a game chat talking. There was no party chat to be able to, like, hide away and seek out, whatever.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people hated it, but I liked those game modes in Call of Duty that made you go into game chat,
Yeah.
because you could actually, like, talk to other people, and sometimes it's annoying when people are on there talking about all kinds of, perverted nonsense.
And that's what the mute button's for. So
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of miss that, like, just talking to random people and giving them a hard time and stuff like that, talking trash back and forth to each other, especially, like, in those Call of Duty Search and Destroy matches, where you could talk to the other team in the inter round period.
yeah, with like the 5 seconds.
Yeah, so the round would stop and you'd like yell all your trash talk out and then go back to the game.
Yeah.
That was always
that's
fun.
what. And like in Halo, when you would kill someone,
Yeah, you could hear him for like a couple
You could-
seconds.
Yeah, you could like, yeah. Oh man, I missed that.
Like
I
you go
missed
up
those
and
days.
assassinate somebody, and while you're killing them, they're like cussing you out and stuff.
Like,
And you're
oh
laughing
my
at
gosh, or like crying about something.
them. But yeah, so I mean, every so often I like to go into game chat just to see if there's anybody talking. But yeah, more often than not, maybe there's one guy who's like on his Connect mic, so you hear like his baby crying or his dog barking or something,
Right.
or he's arguing with his mom in the background or something like that. But yeah, no, most of the time nobody's actually like discussing the game, like strategizing.
Right. Usually gotta like beat it out of people pretty much to get them to talk about,
Yeah, it's like
like
those
team
two guys
communication.
that we played Breakout with. Yeah, like yell and scream at him to get him to say
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. So multiplayer is definitely the redeeming quality for the game. Because if the multiplayer sucked, I would be really disappointed because I'm not a huge fan of the way the campaign is set up. And if
Yeah, the
multiplayer was
multiplayer would have
trash,
sucked.
then-
They probably would have pretty much just killed Halo for me. I mean, that's
Yeah. So, and remember we talked about all that stuff before, like theorizing, is Buck gonna kill Locke, or like is Locke gonna like try to kill Chief and Buck stops him or something? All these crazy theories, and is like
nope.
just nothing even close to
They're pretty much
getting
just
that
best
anywhere.
friends.
Yeah, they're just buds. They're good buds now.
Because imagine you beat him up and Locke knew that he was no match for him. He's like, you know what? There's no point to this. Like, I'll die like trying to fight this guy. So
But Cortana's the bad guy. How about that? That's crazy. Like
that
we
is
thought-
something that definitely something
that is the only aspect that I was not expecting, that I like where they went with it, because we Cortana was dead, like she was done, so we were like, oh, he's gonna try to get her fixed and everything's gonna be good again. He's gonna get Cortana back. They have this like kind of weird special love for each other, and that they're gonna get it back after that really sad ending on Halo 4. But it's like,
right.
no, she's back. And when she first comes back, it's like, she's like, yeah, I came to this place and I was fixed. Like the rampancy's gone. And I was like, yes, like we didn't have to like go get her repaired. Like she's good. We just got to go and find her and get her back.
Right.
But then it like starts turning and it's like, oh no, she's doing bad stuff. And now
Yeah.
she's a bad guy. And like at the end, when Chief is trying to convince her to stop, and she freezes him, and he's like frozen with his like hand out toward her, and he like says her name's like Cortana, and she's just like, goodbye, John, and turns around and like puts him in the little stasis thing. He's like, oh my gosh, that was pretty heavy.
Well,
so that's
it's
interesting.
because she knows that if it comes down to it, that he's gonna protect, mankind over their
Right.
like
Yeah, he's always gonna do what's best for
the
humanity.
mission. He's always gonna do the
He's
mission.
always
That's
gonna
what.
fulfill his mission. Yeah.
Yep. So, and that's why during the whole end of the game, that keeps getting thrown around, that Cortana, like blah blah blah. You know what he's gonna do, Cortana. Like, why are you?
Yeah, why are you letting him come up there? Because you know he's gonna stop you.
Right.
But I mean, one thing they did do is definitely got me looking forward to Halo 6.
Just
or
gotta wait
wherever
for
they go with the
3 more
story.
years, dude, and then we'll.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's what sucks about it too, because like, if they would have gave me a little more to go off of, then I would have been more content. But the fact that they barely did anything in the story,
Yeah, it doesn't like. There's no real climax to
there's
anything.
no like plot development.
Yeah, there's no like culmination or
Like
finishing.
the climax was the ending of the game. Like
And it didn't even like you didn't even solve anything.
it was like
Cortana
this
left.
is like Mockingjay Part 1 and 2. Like
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, let's see how long we can drag this out. Like, don't don't make like a big, finale of anything. Just you have to wait till the next game.
Right.
Yeah, that's another thing that's annoying. But yeah, hopefully we'll see more stuff in Halo Wars 2, and maybe they'll put some more stuff out to expand what in the world's going on. So we'll have to see, and that's that. It's been a long show.
Yeah, it has been a long show. It's because we can talk about Halo forever.
Yeah, well, we always talk about Halo, like every
I know.
time. So.
One thing I did want to say though is something to look forward to. I was talking with Drew. Wait, did I already tell you this?
I don't know. Maybe.
About the Geek Thunder Grace thing?
Probably not.
Okay, well, I tried to make this video, right? Okay, so we talked for like ever, and I was like, what is there a way that I can, do something to be whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do something, whatever to be, yeah.
So we talked forever, and he was like, you should try this. So something to look for is if this video that I sent in gets like approved and like is good enough for them, my videos are gonna have an outlet on their website. So
on whose website? Oh, Geeks Under Grace.
Geeks Under Grace, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Was it like like a skill shot montage?
No, it's a 30-second. It's a 30-second game review video.
Oh, really?
Because we were talking like, people don't have long attention spans anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so we were talking, and I was like, I just don't think it's possible to say the good and the bad about a game in 30 seconds. And then I tried, and I was like, wow, it totally is possible.
Really?
Yeah. So and all I did was played a clip, because it's a 30-second video, so all it takes is just one recording.
Yeah.
Of like a game clip recording from in-game. So I just used one of those, and it was last week when we played, you, me, my dad played, and we were on the one map on Halo 5. It was a Halo 5 review. And I forget what I did. I shot one guy, stuck one guy in the foot.
Oh, yeah, I remember you.
And then I ran over it, stuck another guy, and then shot another guy with a pistol, and got like 4 kills in like 10 seconds. So then that was the video that I used like for the background. So, and I mean it was tough, like, because I'm not really good at saying intellectual things really quickly. But I tried and it worked, so we're gonna see how it goes. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
I think they'll have that up or available by next time we come together.
I would 2 weeks, maybe so.
Yeah.
So it's a good possibility. So, but regardless, if you're listening to this, still check out Geeks Under Grace anyway. They're a Christian gaming affiliate. So, well, not Christian gaming, kind of Christian everything. They talk about all kinds of stuff. So
they were born from Hardcore Christian Gamer, right?
No, Drew's not the boss of that place.
Oh, he's not?
No. If he was, then it probably would be reborn from them. But they just did the Extra Life thing yesterday, and they raised like $3,000 or $4,000. So.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier this year about doing all this stuff, and some of it kind of got lost on the wayside with everybody getting busy and schedules changing and all that stuff.
Right.
But I do want to do something for Extra Life, and I think our buddies at the Reform Gamers podcast are gonna make a team. So I'm gonna see if maybe
that's the case, and I'll join up on that for sure.
See if maybe we can join up with them and do something. But that'll be more information to come. But if there's nothing else, let's get out of here because it's been forever.
All right. Well then.
And my recorder's battery is like flashing at me, so we gotta like go.
Okay. Well. I love you.
Okay, love you too. Love you, listeners.
Bye.
Bye. go.
1-0.
Let's go.
The numbers, Mason. What do the numbers mean?
I'm eating chicken.
What?
Are you playing Call of Duty?
Yeah, I am.
Oh my.
What that noise
Why?
you're making? Will you not do that?
Why'd you get that game?
Because I did.
You're part of the problem.
It's different, okay? It's different.
Yeah, it's different every year for like a month, and then it's stupid.
No, it seems like it's not going to do that.
Yeah, that's what everybody says every time.
Shut your mouth. That's not what I said last time.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Oh, look, they have jetpacks. This one's gonna be new.
I didn't
This
say
one's gonna
that.
be different.
Yeah, I'm
Did
still
you
a
see
Halo.
the new weapons?
Please shut up. Alright, so we're talking about Halo 5, right?
Yeah.
Only Halo 5. Did you see the new Star Wars show they put out?
No.
No.
These days, all I do is highlight.
Funny! What?
Hmm?
What?
I'm done eating my chicken. We're gonna start.
Okay.
That's some good chicken, man.
Oh my gosh!
What if I could stretch my arm all the way across to Hawaii and put this chicken in your
That would be really weird.
mouth?
That's the weirdest thing anyone's ever asked me.
What's the episode?
37.
That's what you said last time, and you were wrong. So
Let me look.
I'm already. It's 35.